Yeah.
Maybe we should have a franchise called Boats.
That's what I was thinking.
If they got planes, why not have
Planes.
boats? Boats is our mode of transportation.
They could have put eyes on the boats they already had.
You could have a couple of Sea-Doos or like a young whippersnapper.
You two need to slow the hell down because after planes, if you think they're doing boats,
why not?
Y'all crazy.
Where we going? We don't need roads.
We don't need roads. We need boats.
We need boats.
Hi, people. This is Blakely. Blakely from the movie. What was the name of the Lilo and Aaron Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. That's right. Yeah, I'm Blakely. I'm not just some aging comic actor who just ran by Lake Champlain because he's doing a comedy set tonight at the Vermont Comedy Theater. And if you're around there, please come. Don't worry. You're probably saying, is it sold out? No. No. Is it half full? No. Legally, I have to do the show because the old showbiz saying is that you have to have more people in the audience than on stage. And there's 2 people in the audience, but I'm only a 1-person act, so legally I have to. So we're not sold out. I'm Blakely. I'm not Kevin McDonald from the Kids in the Hall. The weakest kid in the hall. No, you're not. Come on. I love mosquitoes. There. Hey, Jumba. Anyway, this is Blakely. Hi, how you doing? And you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. I'm Blakely, played by Kevin McDonald, the weakest actor of the Kid in the Hall. I'm playing tonight, and I've ruined my voice doing Blakely. I hope you're happy, you Kevin, Danny, Eli, Rachel people. Now listen to Magic Our Way. I listen to it all the time. I'm lying. I've never heard of it.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libation.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this show, we discuss the recent news regarding Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island. Plus, we discuss some news about dining over at Universal Studios Florida.
Woo!
And look, this isn't your typical polish, practice, Pixie Dust and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in the parks every day, letting you know that the Figment footprints are no longer lining the walls of the exit hallway in Epcot's Journey into Imagination with Figment Pavilion.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and tell you about Tom Sawyer's Island going up the river.
You listeners have the easy part. All you guys have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
And look, the easiest way to support us is to book a vacation with Rachel, and a little piece of that comes back to support us. Also, leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and wherever you access our show. Be sure to like and subscribe as well as turn on those notifications so that you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters for all that they do for us. All of your money that you contribute to us definitely contributes, and it helps pay for everything that you're seeing here. Patreon.com/Magic Our Way. Before we get into it, it's getting close to the end of August, so this is probably the last call where we say, look, if you want to participate in the Magic Our Way Fantasy Football Leagues, if you're a Disney fan and you like North American football or United States football or whatever you want to call it, this is the time you want to join us. Look, reach out to Officer Weekend or Captain Cajun, as we know him, or the Pixie Kirkster, as we also know him. Reach out to Kirk. He's organizing all this. It's only a $20 buy-in. We got a private Facebook group for you. We have a live draft via Zoom, so you can chat with us. If you're interested, go to show@magicourway.com. Go ahead if you want to make Rachel defend her title.
We're just at Gillette Stadium this week. I was doing a little preseason research.
Scouting
My players.
Okay.
No, really, my son is a Philadelphia Eagles fan for reasons unknown to the rest of us, but the Eagles are very rarely in New England because it's a different conference. So they came for a preseason game this year. So we made sure we got out there to see them when they were in town so my son could see his guys.
Can he sing the fight song for the Fly Eagles Fly? Can he do all that?
We really need to teach him that. Yeah. I mean, listen, we're not Eagles fans, so I don't know any of this stuff, but like as he was walking into the stands with his jersey on, people were like saying like "Go Birds" and singing that song to him, and he was like, "Yeah." He didn't know any of it. So
Let's see.
Because his mother's a huge Jalen Hurts fan. I know that for a fact.
yeah, well, I'm hoping to have him on my team because Josh had him last year, and I was jealous every week.
Oh, if I'm
Making
drafting with you, I'm
notes.
taking him right before
I
you.
know you are.
Oh man, watch out, son! It's gonna be a rough year this year.
Yeah, man, look, Rachel, you still practicing? You've been doing like practice drafts?
Yeah, practice draft.
Oh.
You can do them right on the app, guys.
That's your bottom dollar. You can have all that fun if you're a Disney fan and you're a football fan. Join us. It's not a big fee, and you get to converse with us. It's a lot of fun.
Or you just join Patreon and you get it for free.
You can definitely take part, or you don't have to take part if you're not into football. You can just give us the money. I guess I don't know.
You won't offend us with cash.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look.
No.
Yeah, we used to do the thing where you buy us beignets, and I got to figure out a different way to do that.
Cash and envelopes works. No, I'm just kidding. But
Just like casino, just give it to them as we're passing back.
Thank you. Just walk out with the briefcase of cash.
All right, look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go discuss some further D23 news, plus a little bit of Universal news with dining.
All right. So this week we got some news about a new promotional package at Universal. It is called the Dining Card Promotional Package, which is not a very creative name. But the details are pretty good. So the booking window has actually already started. It started on the 15th of August and it goes all the way through like next year. So you've got plenty of time to book. You can travel between November 7th. So it doesn't start for a few months, like the actual travel part. And,
Rachel, tell Josh that we hate to see him go, but we love to watch him leave.
oh, he's already gone. I didn't even know he came behind me.
Facts. Hashtag facts.
Yeah, right in the steps. Like in a long day.
I won't tell him that. Let me see where I was. So the travel window it starts November 7th. So it's in a few months and it goes all the way till April 10th. And so I want us to like keep that date in mind, April 10th of 2025. And then the blockout dates, the only blockout dates are holiday break. So it's the 20th of December through the 4th of January. It is available at all of the Universal hotels, and that includes the value hotels, which is the endless summer resorts. It is even available at the new Stella Nova Resort and the Terra Luna Resort for when they open, and they open in 2025. So that like first piece of 2025, if you want to stay at the new hotels, you can still get this promotion.
Oh, wow.
So basically, any hotel that's open within that period at Universal is available for this.
Yeah.
You're saying, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Lux, whatever.
They did take a page out of Disney's book. So you get more or less in your dining card based on what hotel you book. Yeah, here's the details.
There's the catch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 4-night minimum stay. So no matter where you are, it's a 4-night minimum.
Nice.
If you book at the premier hotels, so that's Portofino Bay, Hard Rock, or Royal Pacific, then you get an $800 card for a 4-night stay or a $1,000 dining card for a 5-night stay.
For how many people?
Well, it's for however many people you have in the room. It's not per person.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like if you have one person, that's how much you get.
4 people get $800, 12 people get $800.
Yeah. Well, you can't put that many people in a room.
Yeah.
But yeah.
4 people in the room, it's $800 each, or is it total?
No, just total.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's different.
I know. It's different than I thought.
That's a little different.
Per day, though, right?
No, total.
Total.
Really?
Yeah. I know. See, this is how I felt when I was reading it. Okay. I like that you're saying this though, because everybody was like getting real pumped on social media, and I thought like,
Then when you start breaking it down, it's like, oh. You know?
yeah. So then for Sapphire Falls and Cabana Bay, it's a $500 card for a 4-night stay and a $600 card for a 5-night stay. For Aventura, Stella Nova, and Terra Luna, it's $400 for a 4-night stay, $500 for a 5-night stay. And then if you're at the Endless Summer Resorts, which is their lowest tier resort, the value resorts, it's $300 for a 4-night stay and $500 for a 5-night stay. It does have a ticket minimum though. I thought this was the part that I was like, oh, you
Huh.
have to have a 4-day minimum ticket and it has to be a park to park.
Damn.
Okay. So they're making you stay at least 4 nights,
Uh-huh.
and then you have to get tickets for at least 4 days.
Yeah.
It has to be a park to park.
Yes.
This feels evilly brilliant
Yeah.
in a weird way.
She wasn't kidding when she said they took a page out of Disney's book.
Yeah.
Yes. So it includes all standard room types. The beverage card is per room and then just varies based on the components purchased. And so the components that make it vary is what resort and whether it's a 4-night stay or 5 or more nights.
Back up. You said beverage card?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I don't know if you've ever been during Mardi Gras at Universal, but they have you can buy a food and beverage card at Mardi Gras that's you pay, I think it was you pay $120, but you get a $150 gift card. But it's not a gift card in the sense that you can use it anywhere in Universal. It's only available to be used for food and beverage purchases.
Okay.
So it's the same kind of card. So you wouldn't be able to go use it for merchandise and go use it for any food and beverage. You can even use it at Cowfish and the other places in City Walk.
Okay. I guess I'm good with that because that's what it's for, right?
Okay.
That's
Right.
the piece. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so your vacation package would include the food and beverage card, your hotel accommodations, your tickets, which are 4-day minimum ticket, and you get a free 5x7 souvenir photograph.
Oh God, those things are a pain in the butt, man. That's nice that they do that, but when you go in line to get that photo done,
Mhm.
it is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Question: is there any restaurants that are excluded, or is it just a gift card and you go wherever you want and you use it accordingly?
It says the dining card cannot be used at the following locations: The Palm, Orlando. I'm not familiar with that.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if this is Bice, BICE, Bice Restaurante, Orlando.
BJ. No, I don't know.
Yeah. And Blondie's. I don't know. Those 3 places are not places I'm familiar with, but you can't
Okay.
use them.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
It's not City Walk, is it?
Is Blondie's the in that cartoon alley one?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Like-
but
like
they
the
do have
cartoon, yeah.
You know
yeah.
that those news
like Blondie and Dadwood
Right,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because you saw the Dagwood sandwich and everything on the on one of the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it closed when we were there that one time, so we never
Mm.
got to.
It could be that. Yeah.
But
I don't
Kinda
think
cool,
so,
yeah.
but it could be. Yeah,
that's what
Interesting.
stuck
All
out.
right.
Yeah. So that's the details. Some of the things I was surprised about was that it's per room, not per person, and that it is just for 4-night stays or longer, and you have to have a 4-day minimum ticket. So that's some things to think about.
Yeah, that's basically a trip for people that just do those kind of trips.
Yeah.
With time with Disney, that's 4 days committed to Universal and 4 days at Disney to
Right.
make your 8-day week or something like that.
Yeah. Right. That would be a long. Yeah. You probably wouldn't be able to do both unless you had a real long trip.
Right. You'd have to make some decisions for that.
the other discouraging thing is there's not really a lot of fine dining in Universal.
No.
No, I really like Big Fire. I wouldn't call that fine dining. I do like it. I think it's pretty good. There is also a great Italian place at Portofino Bay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mythos is the gem of Universal currently. I'm
Yeah.
thinking now when Epic Universe opens, there's a lot of restaurants that look really awesome.
I hope they
that look
deliver.
like they're going to be
Yeah.
fine dining locations that I can't wait to visit.
I really hope they deliver.
Yeah.
I know, me too. Well, and so on that note, right, this is the travel window is November 7th to April 10th is what's valid for this promotion. And so I know. So I cannot help but see that and think they're concerned about their bookings November 7th to April 10th. But for some reason, they stopped being as concerned April 10th. I wonder why.
Universe opens April 11th.
Like, who knows? I don't know. They don't have a date announced yet, but I'm feeling a little bit better about my April week 4 booking. Like,
Yeah.
I might be right on time. So we'll see.
That'd be interesting if Helios opens within that window.
Yeah.
Like a little tease.
Yeah, I thought
Well,
He's on-
Helios isn't listed.
yeah.
Because it's not open.
Right.
Which could change. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
Well, Helios isn't opening unless Epic Universe opens, and
That's true. Right. The park.
That's true, yeah.
so I think Rachel's probably right on the money on this one. This start booking for May, guys.
I for real though, right? Like they took away the word summer on all their stuff, and now it just says 2025. And their big dining card promotion, it only goes till April 10th. So
They have to get that thing open by the summer travel season.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta imagine they want that money.
Yeah. I could even see them using the end of April as like
Like a soft opening thing.
yeah, like a soft open, and then they're good to go by the summer travel.
Memorial Day, boom.
Everybody show up.
Easter is a little bit late this year. I know because I've been looking at calendars for people. Easter is the April 20th. So I could see them saying like they're not as worried about the end of April because of Easter travelers. And then, maybe they're opening Epic, beginning of May or that week for April.
I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
This. And yeah, that's saying that would be the earliest I would book would be May.
Yeah.
Well, what, they got the Louisiana Mardi Gras week travelers for sure, and President's Week travelers for the rest of the country.
Right in that window. So if you're interested in going to Universal for those school breaks, it's a good time because you're going to get this dining card. For me, and like you guys, I'm interested in your opinion. I don't know that this makes me like jump up to book Universal. I don't know if it's that good of a deal for me right now. But if I was already considering a Universal trip, this would be a really nice way to push me over the edge.
Yeah, I think you just said it best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that it's exactly right. It's like an icing on the cake kind of a thing for me.
Yeah.
As we talked about it and talked through it and figured out what the worth of is as far as like people in my room, because I have a family of 5, so I'm thinking about that too. It's like, okay, this is, if I was already booking a trip, just like you said, Rachel, this will be a nice little icing on the cake just to have. But it's not prompting me to say, okay, book with Rachel.
I mean, come. Yeah, definitely go. But
it's not for me in my situation. I'm not prompted to do so.
Yeah, I'd say like if you've never been to Universal before and now knowing that Epic Universe is going to open, your interest is piqued. So you want to check it out prior to it getting crazy. This is a good motivation to do so.
No, absolutely.
But if you are very well familiar with Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, this isn't going to make me want to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because no doubt everybody's waiting for they announced that Epic Universe date, and that's when they book.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it just goes nuts. So like that time, like you said to Rachel's point, yeah, there might be like, oh, it's kind of low because everybody's waiting. Let's toss a little bone.
Yeah.
Hopefully that works something,
I mean, like just again, in general though, there's one thing about Universal that's not going to draw me is the food. Like I would go to Disney and never step foot in the park and just eat outside the park and be very, very happy.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I think my kids have said that too. It's like, I just want to hang out at hotels, maybe go to parks just to eat. I don't need to ride rides. My kids have told me this. I'm like, I could do that.
100%.
So, but yeah, not at Universal.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We don't know what Epic's bringing, but who knows?
I'm trying to think of like, what do I eat at Universal? I don't really think about. Yeah. I love cowfish, so I eat there, but that's like the most memorable thing for me.
Yeah. But in park dining, what do you?
It's tough.
It's Mythos, isn't it? And then that's it.
It's whatever you run into. Depending where you are, if you happen to be close to Mythos and you make it a point to go. But if I'm in the regular studios, I got to eat whatever. I'm getting a burger or a big ass donut or something stupid.
But that Celestial Park restaurant, what is it, Atlantic or Oceanic? What is something like that? Oh my God. Yeah.
That looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued. I hope when that opens, they decide to go back and revamp their food offerings in the other parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a smart play for them.
We often go during Mardi Gras and they have all those booths. So that's what I normally eat when I'm there. If I'm just like in the park, is the Mardi Gras stuff. Because that's like pretty good. It's like food and wine.
I have to try that.
Smart.
I've never been during their Mardi Gras.
Yeah, getting that food and beverage card, and you can use it during that time period. That would be, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's another upcoming show idea. The Epcot Food and Wine Festival menus just came out this week.
Oh,
I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
They look awesome.
We could chew on that. Yeah, next week. We could chew on that for sure.
I love menus.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks, Rachel, for bringing that news to us. Make sure you book with Rachel. Every little bit, it helps us on the show.
Yeah, definitely. Rachel, RACHEL at magicourway.com. I would love to hook you up with this promotion. And it is truly, if you're interested in Universal and you've got kids who are Harry Potter fans and they've been wanting to going this upcoming time period, so that November to April is a really good idea because you're going to get the parks not very crowded. I think bookings are down because people are waiting for Epic. And if you don't particularly care about Epic Universe, now's the time to go.
Yeah, I just need the Mummy in my life and I'm good. If I can ride the Mummy, I don't care. I love that coaster.
I could just hang around Diagon Alley all day.
I could do that too, yeah. Definitely, look, guys, reach out to Rachel, book that vacation because, now's a good time to go, especially if you want to avoid the crowds at Epic. You might as well book early, catch it when it's light, and then maybe later in 2025, you can catch a trip to Epic Universe and see all that. welcome to The Q, the segment in which we get to discuss all the news and happenings in the world of Disney today. Well, the 2024 D23 Expo has come and gone, and the Disney fan universe is still discussing the ramifications of the announcements made that weekend. All week, there has been drama concerning the placement of Monsters, Inc. land in Disney Hollywood Studios, from Disney fans lamenting the idea that Muppets would be leaving, or if you're looking on Twitter or X to find Disney executive post hinting that it could be placed where the animation courtyard currently exists and their offices backstage exist. There's lots of speculation there. As an aside, interesting enough though, Universal has been relatively quiet, having only released information about what we just talked about, Rachel's dining thing over there, as well as they only released just this past weekend the first look video of Stardust Racers, two things which they say are definitely coming in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. I don't know. Have y'all seen that video, the first look of Stardust Racers?
I saw that the video exists. I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah,
no.
It looks kind of cool. I'm a little intrigued because it's like there's no doubt this is it.
I saw the two. Well, they don't call them Imagineers. I don't know what they call them at Universal. But they're like,
Oh yeah. Fans, yeah, something like that. It's
That's
interesting.
a good question. I don't know what they call them there.
Cool little
miracle workers.
Yes, there you go. Universal Miracle Workers. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that Universal had not released anything. They've been kind of quiet because I remember a couple of shows ago, I was like, are they playing nice with Disney? Like, what the heck's going on? I don't know.
It seems like when you get a royal flush, you don't have to bluff, like they've got this incredible plan for Epic Universe. Like they probably, I don't know. They're probably just feeling like they don't need to try to compete. Like they've got their own thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I watched that first look video, and they talk about the Universal creative guy was there, and he was talking about their unique design of the Celestial Spin, which is like you have a racing coaster, and then one flips above the other, so you're looking up at the other cars, and they're looking down at you, and then they reverse it, where it's like the other guy is now looking down at you while you look up at them. And
it's like the Top Gun moment.
It is. It's exactly like Top Gun. Like I went inverted.
And you give each other the bird.
Yes, that's right. Exactly what's going to happen.
Perfect.
I'm just like, it was just a teaser video. I'm like, that move looks awesome.
Don't give it all away. I want to watch the video now.
I don't want to root for you. But anyway, I digress. All right.
Just as an aside, the Universal ride designers are called the Universal Creative Team. Not super creative of a name, but the Universal Creative Team.
If they want to use Miracle Workers, we're willing to lease out the name.
They should.
Yeah.
So back in the Disney fan universe, the other piece of news that was being discussed, other than the placement of Monsters, Inc. land, is their expansion to Frontierland in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, which involves the departure of the Liberty Square riverboat, Rivers of America, and Tom Sawyer Island to make way for new Cars attractions. The Disney Parks blog released on Monday, August 12th, oddly enough, after D23 events. Like they didn't do it at D23, but the day after, the Disney Parks blog released this, and I quote, they said, to make way for this completely new frontier, the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island will be transformed into vast and rugged terrains for a rally race with some of the world's most iconic racers, end quote. And in the same Disney Parks blog article, Michael Hungen, I think it's Hungen, Walt Disney World's portfolio executive producer at Walt Disney Imagineering, was quoted as saying, and I quote, anytime we touch Magic Kingdom, we recognize a massive responsibility that exists to get it right and tell stories that connect with our guests, end quote. And lastly, the article goes on to say that, and I quote, ahead of work revving into high gear next year, guests will have plenty of time to experience the charm and nostalgia of Frontierland as it is today. So here we are with the news of a major facelift to Walt Disney World's Frontierland in the Magic Kingdom. This is major. This is bigger than the Fantasyland expansion. They didn't really replace much of anything there, but they were replacing things that have been there since opening day, and Tom Sawyer's Island, Rivers of America, all that kind of stuff. How do we feel about this news?
I think right off the bat, with that quote you just said, was messed up about that quote is he's talking about connected to nostalgia, and they ripping all the nostalgia out.
But I mean, I think that's what he's saying. Is like, you have a few months left to enjoy the nostalgia, before it goes away.
Sounds like something the landlord tells this tenant before they kick them out
and remodel the apartment.
Yeah, hey,
don't feel bad.
feel bad about it. You got another 30 days before you got to get out. And when you come back, you can see how we changed everything. You'll just be homeless. Like
it's like coming to America. Yeah.
Winer's book now.
Right.
That's what I read this as.
Accept this for what it is.
Which I think it's just totally interesting that they released this the day after D23 because they knew the backlash of this might come if they did it at that big ass Honda arena.
Oh yeah, as it is, reports that there was silence when it came to this announcement and a small smattering of boos. But if they would have released this concept art, I have a feeling that the boos would have been deafening if people knew what they were up to.
Yeah. So what do we think? What do we think about you heard this news? The people have been discussing it ad nauseum all freaking week. And so now's our chance to say our piece. How do you feel about this?
The only thing that makes me sad about it is the water going away. I kind of like that water there, but I'm hoping that they're going to incorporate it into the Cars attraction. The other thing that I, worry about a little bit is the sight lines. We've talked about that before, but I just don't want it to ruin the kind of energy of that part of the park because it would be kind of right next to Haunted Mansion. Yeah. I don't know how those two things sort of go together, but I'm going to try to just have faith that they'll figure it out and it'll look cool. And so I'm okay with it, but I'm going to say disclaimer. I don't think I've ever been to Tom Sawyer Island, or if I have, it's been a really long time. I did it as a kid, maybe. So I'm going to make that a priority on my next trip to check it out before it's gone. Just like the shooting gallery. I'm just getting all my Fantasyland before it goes away.
Yes.
Frontierland.
I hear that.
Well, look, I'm going to say this. You're not missing much.
Yeah.
They really have kind of let Tom Sawyer's Island grow stale. So I totally understand the reason why they would be looking at this. I definitely understand that. And from an attraction perspective, almost certainly, the off-road cars ride looks massive.
Yeah.
And it looks like something that's going to be fun for all ages. Kids are going to love it. And I bet you I'm going to love it.
Definitely more kinetic energy than what was Tom Sawyer.
Yeah. Right. It's just that from a thematic perspective, this is devastating.
Oh, no doubt.
Not just for Frontierland, but for the Magic Kingdom. You look at Epcot. World Showcase is easily enough to understand, but the former Future World, now World Discovery, World Nature, no one is really catching on to what all those overall themes have to do with the overarching story. Hollywood Studios is neither a working movie studio nor a tribute to the movies. Animal Kingdom has gone from a park that was all about animals to a park that happens to have animals. And
animal adjacent.
Yeah. Each of those parks opened with a strong central identity that slowly, over time, little by little, they just kept whittling away at it and whittling away at it and whittling away at it until now it's just basically a hodgepodge of different experiences with only a tangential relationship at best with the overarching theme that once tied the whole park together. So you didn't despair about those as much because there was always the Magic Kingdom, but now it seems like the lands in the Magic Kingdom are up for this as well. And that's the part I think that makes me nervous the most, is that each of those lands in the Magic Kingdom were easily identifiable. There was never a point in time where you weren't sure which land you were in. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case here. I'm not sure that I can look around.
I think it's going to be a different name by the time this is all said and done.
It's a strong possibility.
I hope so.
It's going to be the Wilderness Land.
Desert land or
if
something.
they want to do that, that's fine, because this is not the frontier.
No,
and that abortion of explanation that Josh Tomorrow gave was awful. That's awful.
Yeah, this is very interesting news. Looking at the concept art, the thing with the concept art with Disney, unlike Universal, is I can't count on this to be reality. So right now we're just speculating on the stuff they've released. I'll be honest and say that I haven't been on Tom Sawyer's Island in a while. I do like Tom Sawyer's Island when I'm on it. But the thing of it is getting to Tom Sawyer's Island is not the easiest thing in the world.
No, it's very time consuming.
It's time consuming. You got to wait in line for those freaking flatboats or rafts. to take you across. If they had a bridge or something that they built somewhere, I guarantee you it would have more traffic.
Yes.
Because one thing, and maybe this is because when I was younger, and it was not that much younger, it was like high school and stuff, college, I enjoyed walking through those caverns. You know, I enjoyed the wilderness, I enjoyed the calmness of it, the barrel bridge, I freaking enjoyed, just all those different things.
It was like their first play area. You know how like Dinoland had the boneyard and everything like that? That was Tom Sawyer's Island. It's not really that anymore. They've kind of just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally let it go.
So much so to the point that I want to say the first time we got Lily over there, after all the time waiting in line, finally getting a raft, finally getting over there, finally getting the island, it's like, oh, now what do we do?
Right.
And so I think there's a reason, like Rachel, as many times as she's been, has never been there, because it's not necessarily been an attraction, an appeal to come over here and come see this really cool stuff that we have over there. They don't really get into what's over there.
No, and it's not easy to access. And I think that's a big issue of why there's zero traffic or very little traffic, because they made it so hard to get to. I understand the concept of using their the flat rafts and whatever else, but it's even if you gave me a little bridge, I think it would have been better than having to rely on those rafts all the time.
A bridge, an underground cavern that you can tunnel under, kind of like what they do in Paris.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would have been great. An underground mine that you go through, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. I think that would have been incredible.
At least maybe even put in some characters in there. Because, I mean, I'm like you guys. I went to Tom Sawyer's Island a couple of times, but I never came out, like, blown away.
I don't think you want that foul-mouthed Tom Sawyer.
Oh, yeah,
take a picture with Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer over there.
What the hell you doing here? Like, you know what decade this is? I'm just saying, like, maybe
like a reimagining of it.
Yeah, like because you're going through the tree, you go through the tree house and you see the rooms are decorated. That was intricate for what it was, but I mean,
the fort was cool too.
It's all it worked for its time, but being older is like, well, I can't exactly go in these rooms and sit in the little chair. I would break it, like. There's only a handful of things I could do. So for me, I was like, well, I'm good. I've seen it. I've not really heard any stories where people are like, man, like I remember going here as a kid and how it captivated me. And that's what I don't feel for this one. But at the same time, I agree that Frontierland is not looking like Frontierland anymore. And I held myself back just on them taking away, my shoot gallery.
That was painful. That was the most painful piece of this.
Right. But now that they're announcing, this IP coming in, and they're just like, oh, yeah, it's the frontier where cars go through it. Like, no, you just have to have like stagecoaches or something, at least if you have any respect for what that area is supposed to be, because it's supposed to be a time window into yesteryear, not the rearview mirror. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people pulling up that Disney quote of the video. This is where he talks about what Frontierland was supposed to be.
Yeah,
to base their arguments off. One of the things about Tom Sawyer Island, which is interesting to me, is that it's like I don't think it's as taught. The kids don't read it in school as much. I know, Rachel, you could probably speak to this a little more, but I know when I was in school, I read Adventures of Tom Sawyer or The Adventures of Huck Finn. I don't think those characters are in there for it to be relatable.
You think that's another DEI thing, another diversity, inclusion?
I mean, that's part of why I teach American studies, which includes American literature. Like that's part of what we do. We don't teach those books. And part of it is just because it's not, it's obviously not modern, but it does not present a picture of the South that feels like historical and meaningful in a way that we can use in a constructive way. You know what I mean? Like it's not very constructive.
Yeah.
I like that was
so no Injun Joe.
Yeah.
Right. It's not very constructive. Like there's other books from that time period that you can use and it's a little bit more like historically useful.
Yeah.
Those ones are not as much. No, so I agree. I think kids aren't really reading those books anymore in school. At least not where I'm at.
Well, not here either. I mean, which is interesting because part of me felt like that Mark Twain painted a picture of what it was kind of what it was like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the harsh truth of what it was viewed as what people thought of, which was kind of a rough part of our history.
Right.
As Americans,
What I agree with Rachel about is it's not to me so much Tom Sawyer's Island. It's more the visual. Like attractions come and go. I mean, hell, many of the Frontierland attractions from Walt days are long, long gone.
Right.
But standing on that Old West Street and looking out onto the rivers of America and seeing the Liberty Bell paddling by, that was the essence to me of Frontierland. hearkening back to the pioneering spirit of the American frontier, the rivers that were traversed, that allowed for transportation, trading, basically like, the spirit of exploration that made America what it is. And so, yeah, every attraction that is a part of Frontierland feels like it should have that kind of rural feel to it with a kind of a semblance of history, if you will.
I mean, on top of that, it was probably one of the more relaxing things you could do there.
Yeah.
With all of the kinetic energy that's already happening. And, you could at least go by that little boardwalk that they built, which I love. I love the boardwalk, a little bypass,
Same.
some people call it, but they have benches. So you could just chill out, just sit. If you got a turkey leg or whatever to eat, you could just sit there and chill, look at the waters. You see some greenery, see the little flat or the rafts is kind of just floating by. It was a nice place to chill, where the kinetic energy wasn't so much,
Yeah.
Now they're replacing it with something that's going to give more kinetic energy, which is, it's good, but then it's like nothing but.
Right.
It's like as you're walking around, I can't help it. Those cars are going to be jumping around, moving, and it's like just like, where do I chill out? Where can I relax? Where can somebody just like if they need a timeout? I mean, what I'm looking at the photos, like I go into the trees or whatever. I don't even know if the trees are accessible and stuff.
Yeah, you're losing that visual that really helps accentuate what this land is all about and the beauty of what the frontier was. And now you're kind of getting away with that, and you're just packing it full. Like I'm trying to picture standing in the middle of an old West town, and off in the distance, what are you seeing? Snow-capped mountains and cartoon cars with big googly eyes. Maybe they go try and hide it behind what appears to be like really large pine trees. Because, yeah, of course, when you picture an old West town, you picture lots of foliage.
Of course.
But if that's the case, isn't it kind of an admission that this isn't where it belongs?
Yeah, this is more Pacific Northwest kind of thing.
It feels like Canada. From what I saw in that concept art, I felt like it was more Canadian than anything else. Like that would have worked really good in Epcot if you wanted to build back over there. And that's the problem. That's the whole freaking problem with this. It's not that this is a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. The attraction looks wonderful. But why can't this take the place of the Tomorrowland Speedway?
Oh, I was going to bring up Tomorrowland. It's like they totally ignored Tomorrowland in D23. That could use a lot of help.
Yeah. I guess because Tron, maybe they were just
It's not enough. I mean, the rest of it, it's like
I agree.
It's like,
yeah, but if you shut Tomorrowland Speedway off from Frontierland and made it part of Fantasyland, like even if you had to incorporate all that circus theming that they're doing back over there, why not put this over there? Or with all the talk of beyond Big Thunder Mountain, why not actually build it beyond Big Thunder Mountain? Why are you building it to the immediate right of Big Thunder Mountain? That doesn't seem very beyond to me.
Oh, well, Danny, we're placing Villains Land beyond Thunder Mountain now.
You didn't hear that was part of the plan? It was called right alongside, adjacent to.
Adjacent to. We're putting Villains Land behind it.
On the side of.
But there's room back there. Like to
it's
get
still
rid of
Land, Danny. That's
a staple that really represents what the frontier was supposed to have been about. Or just put it in Pixar. Put it in Hollywood Studios with the rest of the Pixar.
Fill it up.
Yeah, or even Animal Kingdom. You could put it. I mean, they've already pretty much bastardized the theming in Animal Kingdom. Call it off-roading through Africa, or
off-roading. I don't know about that.
Carfari. Just Carfari.
I don't know if I can get on board with that.
It's funny. Like I was joking. We were talking with JP in the group, Facebook group, Magic Our Way, Pleasure Island. If you're on Facebook, join us. And he was, I was like, yeah, I'd take stagecoach rides. He's like, no, we're going to get stagecoaches with googly eyes and everything else. And in mine, I was like, yeah, I'll take that with some animatronic horses pulling me. I'll take that more than cars. Rally race.
I'll take a tombstone theme.
And at some point, we circle up because somebody's attacking us. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Go do it. Yeah.
And that's the problem, though. Like, look, if this was a hot property, I could understand sacrificing Tom Sawyer's Island. I can even understand sacrificing the Rivers of America. But like even with Monsters Inc. land that's coming, which may take
we don't know where it's going.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
May take the place of one of my favorite attractions, Muppets 3D.
Or not.
I would hate losing Muppets. Yeah, or not.
Or not.
Could not. I don't know. I would hate losing Muppets 3D. I would absolutely hate it. But for a door coaster, Monstropolis, the chance to explore that, Harryhausen's going to eat in there, I also understand.
No, I would agree because they really didn't develop the Muppets thing,
Right.
Which is unfortunate.
They've been whittling away at the Muppets instead of building it up. So I can understand, and I would hate losing it. But for something like that, I would be like, that's a hot property. They've had 2 good movies. You know, they haven't been overexposed. I love what they're doing. So I'm just going to do like we New Orleans do every single time a hurricane's coming, make the train to the Gulf. I'll be prepared for the worst, but hoping and praying it goes anywhere else but Muppets 3D. Cars, though, I mean, look, I like the first Cars movie, but after that, we got what? 2 terrible sequels and a failed spinoff.
I like Cars 3.
I thought it was kind of weak.
It was better than 2.
It was better than 2. Yeah, that was a low bar to clear, but it was definitely better.
Are you
than
talking
2.
spinoff? You talking about the plane stuff?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
talking about planes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly a deep concept with which worlds.
It's cars with eyes, Danny.
Yes,
It's cars with eyes, man.
It's about cars. What do? They drive. Something most of us do every freaking day.
Yeah.
It's not that amazing. I mean, the attraction looks amazing. It does, and I really do want to experience that. And I think something outside for the whole family to enjoy. I think it's a killer attraction. I just have to question why there. Doing away with that beautiful visual of the rivers of America with Tom Sawyer Island in the background, steamboat coming around the bend. Just for something as trite and as unnecessary as cartoon cars, it just seems so inappropriate. I don't know.
Well, it's like we mentioned in the show. It's like I don't think story matters anymore at this point.
No.
I mean, they're going to do it regardless.
Right.
It's
whether or not it contributes to the overall story of the area. I don't know.
It's not. It won't. I mean, this is a coup de grace when it comes to IP over theming. This is their masterstroke. There's no better example that theming even in the Magic Kingdom, which would be the most sacred of the Disney parks. It doesn't matter. But look, you got to look. It's all a trade off. You're losing the very essence of Frontierland, but you're gaining a really kick ass attraction. The question is, why not several other locations? Why not the fourth side? If you want to do a Toy Story land, which really isn't much of a Toy Story land, you want to do a Monsters Inc., you want to do a Cars area, why not just open the 5th gate and call it Pixar or whatever? And
I would love a Pixar park. That would be
Pixar Park, right?
Well,
there.
I mean, it goes to, I've heard people talk about this, it goes to the fact that they haven't kept up with different areas of the parks they currently have.
Yes.
Which they have to make viable before they can consider a 5th gate. And that's their fault.
That's exactly right.
It is
their fault for doing it.
And I agree with everyone who's ever said that. I think I've been one of the ones who has said that. But maybe this would help them exercise those IP demons and be like, okay, now we've got this property and we got that property and we got that property. And now we're making money off of this. And now we can keep Animal Kingdom the beautiful, wonderful celebration of animals that it was supposed to be.
Yeah, what you remember, because this is not going to be our Disney park anymore. I mean, by the time all this stuff comes around, we're going to be too old to enjoy it. We're going to have to see some video of it because now your kid or your grandkids are going to have to go and enjoy it. And they're not going to be aware of all of that subconscious train of thought. Demon does not exist in this dojo, does it?
No sensei.
Yes.
No, I mean, my saving grace is that I doubt they'll ever do this to Disneyland's Rivers of America.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because that's where Fantasmic takes place.
Right.
There would be hell to pay if they did that.
It would be Lord of the Flies.
It would,
They would have Josh Tomorrow's head on a stake.
Yeah. I mean, they got New Orleans Square. I doubt that will ever happen. So it sounds like Walt Disney World is up for whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
And that's a shame.
I would even be fine if they just made like a kind of a truncated version of the Rivers of America. Shorten that. You don't need to even go around the rivers. Like, turn the steamboat, like we've said a million times over, like other people said,
into a casino.
Into a casino.
A New Orleans casino.
There you go.
Well, I was thinking more of a Tiana.
Oh, that's fair.
Since Pecos Bill's apparently staying.
Probably not, but for right now, it sounds like it.
For right now,
and you still can't have those shoot galley, but you have Pecos Bill.
Luigi's Pizza Place.
Come on, man.
Look,
with all of this? Where's the gold rush?
No, all that history is leaving, man.
Yeah,
it is. I hate to hear it. But it is.
That's the thing. I think it would be good if there was some use of land expansion, so that way you can keep your classic version for everybody who remembers the park before these changes, but then still show your level of expansion for those who are still new to seeing it. And I think we've said this plenty of times before. There's really going to be a generational break at some point, because no one's going to be able to say, hey, kid, I'm taking you somewhere where I used to go. This is my favorite thing. Tom Sawyer's, wait, It's gone. Never
Yeah, go
mind.
ahead, go ahead. Tom Sawyer's.
They're building something back in like 2030.
Well, there's going to be very few people who are like, come on, kiddo, come see the best thing in the park, Tom Sawyer's Island.
You think,
That's
not going to happen.
happen.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, if there is something that made this attraction stick out to someone where they were like, oh, I love doing all this stuff, they cannot share that with anybody unless they really hurry up and book and get there now. But this is not going to be something for us to share for the next generation coming, because they're just going to be like, well, no, look, just more IP. What are you talking about, old man? History, theming. What are these words? They mean nothing. I'm here to ride, son.
Story, nothing.
What about all? Who cares about that stuff? You know,
Like, I would have been cool. Like, I would have been cool sacrificing Tom Sawyer's Island and Rivers of America for Encanto and Coco back over there. I would have been 100% cool with that, and then put Moana in Animal Kingdom. That would have been fine. I would have not liked the idea of losing that visual, but now we're changing Frontierland. We're not having the audacity to still call it Frontierland. We're changing it, and it's more of a what was it? I can't remember how it was originally defined, but it was more like a Southern American expansion. We crossed through the border and we're going out towards
South of the border,
Mexico and Colombia and everything like that. And I kind of dug the concept there because, okay, if Frontierland, if we're no longer doing the hard facts that created the American, as Walt said, then that's fine. I mean, they want to go in that direction. Look, we're getting away from the edutainment thing. It didn't work in Epcot. It's not working here. We're going to go ahead and make this a lot of fun
because it wasn't monetizable and they didn't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame. Because here's the other thing too, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. I feel like a lot of the stuff that they're building doesn't, at least for me, I don't have as much of an emotional connection to it as the stuff that came before. Even if I think about Rise of the Resistance,
I would say I'd have more of an emotional connection to Cars than what I would have to Tom Sawyer's Island. I would say that.
I would say the opposite, only because I have studied Tom Sawyer's Island, and there's probably more of a historical connection to that. And Rise of Resistance, I would even say that's based off of like sequels that I don't have as much of emotional connection to, so I don't feel a certain way like I would if it was based on the original trilogy.
No, and that's what you just said. That was incredibly fair. I'm just if you're asking me personally, I have more of an emotional connection with Cars, I guess, because I remember watching that with my daughter and her being like, "This is awesome," and it was. I thought Cars was an amazing movie. I walked in there with zero expectation because I could give a damn less about race driving cars.
It was a brilliant story,
and it was a brilliant story.
You know, I Cars 1 was amazing.
Really.
Yeah, you know, I could see that. Fun. I could live with that, but there was like no point where they did off-road rally racing.
No,
you didn't see that till like Cars 2 when you saw the little
rally. I mean, they did off-road racing in the first one, but not rally.
The only time you saw actual rally, because that's a whole thing. It's like the rally.
Yeah, it wasn't rally racing.
It was like the Cars 2 where you had the little Japanese UV that was jumping. Which I thought was awesome. I thought it was a great representation of that world.
Wouldn't that
racing,
be a really cool, like, maybe not a really cool, but even Epcot, Cars could work in Epcot. You go to World Showcase, racing across the world kind of thing.
Cars could have worked in World of Motion.
Yeah.
If GM wanted it, I mean, I thought they could have taken that property and just went nuts with it easily. And again, GM would have probably a pretty popular ass attraction in that park.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, again, I just want to compartmentalize. Like, I'm with y'all. I do agree we're losing something important, but we're losing, at the end of the day, a visual that harkens back to the storytelling of the essence of what this place is supposed to be about. But we're not really losing a great attraction, Tom Sawyer's Island. Now, that could be on Disney because maybe they didn't do as much with it. Maybe they should have changed the theming over there. Given like, hey, they did it over in Disneyland and turn into what, Pirates Cove or Pirates Lair. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But that was actually a really cool representation of the Pirates. And so it lost nothing. And so I think it's more the Rivers of America that's bumming people out than Tom Sawyer's Island.
It's the loss of water. I mean, I think Rachel said that. I think it's the loss of having that element in the parks. Because now what do you have left? It's just going to be the moat around Cinderella's castle. That's the only body of water, and that's it.
I have seen, and I did look at it and I saw it there too. The concept art for the graphics, the concept art for the new Cars attraction does show water. So they may be keeping some of it.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like they have snow and stuff, to your point.
Let me look.
right, so we took a second, just to pull back the curtain. We took a second to really look at the concept art that Disney released. Yes, I know it may not or may or happen. It doesn't matter. But we're looking at it. We did see there's some semblance of water suggested between what Rachel showed us as far as the picture. There's some like areas where the rally cars would run through the water. And there's some areas like near Tiana's Bayou, which of course a bayou would have water.
Mhm.
And then maybe over by Big Thunder where you might have some water because of the geysers and all that kind of stuff because there's some water there. But a majority of the water is gone from what we know. But there is still a little bit of water. Maybe not the massive...
A skosh.
A skosh. Yeah. A smidgen of water.
Just a bit.
And not as much as what it used to be when they had the Rivers of America.
No, unfortunately, no. But
which is funny because they got rid of the Fountain of Nations and now they get rid of the Rivers of America.
yeah, what do they have against water?
They got to pay.
There's
for
no
it.
IP with water.
Yeah.
Other than Moana.
Nemo.
Oh, there's Avatar.
They haven't leaned into
Stretch
Nemo
the
much
tap
other than the
water.
Epcot. That's a good point, Rachel.
At the end of the day, I think what this comes down to is that this is a horrible fit historically for Frontierland, but this is going to be probably a much better experience for younger visitors. And it's more us old people who are trying to hold their feet to the fire thematically, justifiably so. I mean, there's no reason why this has to go there, except for the fact that, they're just, for whatever reason, just jam packing the Magic Kingdom and still leaving the other parks as half-day parks at best.
They treat the other parks
Well, I
like
mean,
side chicks.
Except for
Yeah.
Epcot, obviously.
terrible.
But yeah,
I mean, I don't even know what the heck Epcot's all about,
mm,
other than the World Showcase.
no, exactly. So
And that's the thing with emotional connection. It's like, maybe my kids will love this and they'll enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like I'll be the Gen Xer that just sits
Mhm.
there and tell them stories of what used to be there
Right.
and what I used to like to do. And it's like, okay, maybe I'm getting phased out.
well,
I think we are.
Yeah.
well, but that's the nature of life, that we evolve, and you hold on loosely. You hold that idea of how
Yeah.
things should be, and I think that's all this is a trade-off. You're trading off a very visually satisfying, historically reminiscent period for what looks to be a really solid e-ticket attraction.
Yeah, this is true.
It's trade-offs
in Southern Florida, as we know what the weather is like in
the
Florida.
heat. Yeah, to be able to go around. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. I gotta believe it's gonna be
If
amazing.
it works. I mean, we're in like Southern California. This is Southern Florida, and when you come around this time of year, which is August, September, and even other months of the summer, I mean,
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, and then maybe this deserves to be said because they said there's 2 cars attractions. Now it's hard to kind of distinguish in that. Maybe if they just would have did the 1 cars attraction, we wouldn't have. Maybe we could have got a more truncated versions of the Rivers of America. Still kept the steamboat, that kind of thing. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
maybe we should have a franchise called Boats.
Yeah, that's what I was
If
thinking.
they got planes, why not
They're
have
planes.
boats? Boats is our mode of transportation.
They could have put eyes on the boats they already had.
They have a grandpa pedal wheeler, man. I mean, little grandpa and Sea-Doo. You can have a couple of Sea-Doos or like a young
That's funny.
whippersnapper.
You two need to slow the hell down because after planes, if you think they're doing boats,
Why not?
y'all crazy.
Where we going? We don't need roads.
We don't need road. We need boats. We need boats. We got jet skis. We got speedboats.
Larry.
We got paddle boats. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to finish, and I thought of boats too. And then you just said boats. I was like, I had to pop.
Yeah, Danny's point. Yeah, the planes franchise kind of sucked.
No, yes.
I don't think it necessarily sucked as much as it's just not a very deep concept. There's not a whole rich world to explore. That's the problem with cars. It's very surface level. It's very basic. I'm just saying, all in all, it's just how you take it. Tried and true older people are going to be like, this is the worst thing in the world to ever happen. And they're kind of right. And younger people who are like, now this is going to be a new experience. And they're kind of right.
Mhm.
Everyone's kind of right. It's just the one thing I have to say is that it could have gone a couple of different other places and it would have worked just as well. And we could have maintained that good sight line. I mean, can you imagine that in Animal Kingdom? Like, I don't want it in Animal Kingdom because it doesn't belong in Animal Kingdom. But if you're going to force it here, you could force it there. I mean, if you're going to put Indiana Jones in there and Encanto in there, you could force it in there. And that might make Animal Kingdom a full day park.
I like Kafari. I like that idea.
Kafari?
Yeah, I like that. You're driving down the road, leopards could be jumping at you or something like that. You don't know.
Oh my God, it's a little rare to avoid them.
Yeah, it works the same way. I mean,
Yeah, I think to your point, I think it's a change of generation where we're moving to the YouTube, TikTok people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like it's not long stuff, but it's enough to hold my attention for a small amount of time, and then I move on to the next thing.
There you
yeah.
go.
Whereas we're millennials and Gen Xers, we're just a little different. It's like we like a little bit more depth with it.
Oh,
Right.
100%. No, this is the death of Frontierland. Make
Yeah.
no mistake about it.
That is true. It's not Frontierland anymore. I still think it's been really cool.
Take the good with the bad. Killed Frontierland, but you were still going to get up something really awesome.
Yeah, if we are live enough to see it.
And here's the thing: it's like I know we got Universal's Epic Universe, but it's like the one thing that Disney always has is the customer service and the way it makes you feel when you're in the park.
Yeah.
As long as they have that, maintain that, they will always have the advantage over Universal, unless Universal learns and decides, hey, we're going to make the customer service aspect like this with Epic Universe. Then they got a challenge. Because I always feel different when I go to Universal parks and do their things. When I go to Disney parks, it's like I feel like I'm comfortable. Here I am, I'm home.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
You know, there's still a difference. It's a cultural change in how they treat their guests. I don't know if the Epic Universe is going to do that, but if they do, then they actually got something they compete with.
Now, to use a Tiana parlance, the cast members are the secret spice that makes that park run.
It does.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference. You know, all the stuff that we hold sacred at Walt Disney World, yes, Walt didn't get a chance to see it when it would open, but God help them if they try to do anything to Disneyland and that stuff.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
That's
We
the difference
can
of it.
Still
Yeah.
go to Disneyland and see it.
I can book a vacation with Rachel to go to Disneyland to see all that stuff.
Look what they do with the Rivers of America with Fantasmic. How beautiful that is. It's the best Fantasmic there
That's
is.
better than ours. I'll give
100%.
it. I mean, it's just,
It's not even arguable.
I don't care if I'm sitting on the ground on a little cushion that I got from the restaurant.
Nope.
I could sit with my bare ass on the freaking concrete. I will enjoy that Fantasmic because it's freaking awesome.
And it doesn't take much for Kevin to show his bare
Yeah.
ass.
The real treat, the people that are going to sit behind you as you sit there.
Hey, man, look, they're in for a treat.
They get the true show.
That is
Yes.
caramel unfounded.
Yes. That's an attraction. Caramel unfounded.
All right, I don't think you followed that up. I think you closed right on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so look, we've stated our opinions on this about the whole thing. That's been the biggest thing that Disney Fan Universe has been talking about. And no doubt they're still talking about it even 2 weeks after D23. So we want to know what you guys think. Shoot us an email, get in touch with us, shoot us a text, and we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed that discussion about Frontierland and the food options you got at Universal. Look, if you want to share your opinions or you want to learn more about us, go to magicourway.com. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions, because all opinions are always welcome, do it through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815-
Mo Weekend.
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics, graphic novels, and all that stuff. All that awesomeness.
All
that
that jazz.
I love it.
Wow.
Makes
man.
me happy.
I'm glad it makes you happy.
It
Makes me
does.
happy.
I watched Blade this past weekend, and I was like, man, this is awesome. I want more of this. I want a geisha movie. Give me a geisha movie.
I just need to tell listeners this real quick.
Yes.
Me and Eli and my wife went to Nobu last night.
Nobu.
And had the best dining experience
Oh my
of our
goodness.
lives.
Yes.
Oh,
Better than Tepanetto?
huh?
Better than Tepanetto?
Better than Tepanetto. Better than even the sushi restaurant. What's the Rachel? What's that fine dining sushi restaurant?
Oh, Takumi Tai.
There you go.
Takumi Tai.
Yeah.
Even better than that. Not that the atmosphere wasn't. Takumi Tai's atmosphere was rolling. This was more a little
More pop.
upscale, like
Yeah.
when the music in the background is like all that stuff. And I like the atmosphere better, but the cut of sushi, oh my God, I never tasted anything so wonderful in my entire life. Nobu. So Rachel, y'all have a Nobu up there?
No, boo, we do not.
Oh. All right. When you and Josh head down this way,
You can book a vacation through Rachel to visit New Orleans and
I could. I could book a vacation.
all the Nobu's around the country.
And Nobu's have hotels.
Canada.
I know. Now I'm like, wait, where do they have these things?
Oh, all over. New York,
San Diego,
Chicago, Vegas.
Good Earth. Yes.
Yeah. It looks like the closest one to us would be Atlantic City.
Yeah. They got it in Atlanta. A couple in Las Vegas.
It has its own set of hotels. Nobu has its own set of hotels. Nobu was a restaurant started by the chef, and I think Robert De Niro kind of found it and started eating over there and invested in it, and that's when he started spreading all over the country. But he's very specific about where he goes. So when we got a Nobu down here, I was ecstatic, and I booked immediately.
Man, we are in a league of some superior cities around the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Having a Nobu, where I mean San Diego, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, Chicago, Atlantic City, even Mexico and the Caribbean or Middle East and Africa, Asian Pacific. Toronto even's got a Nobu. This is awesome. I don't know. I feel like we should let Rachel go and then have Eli afterwards. We've been booking this. How did I book a vacation with you, Rachel?
I would love to help people book a vacation to eat at their, dream restaurants. Eating is like pretty much my favorite thing to do. Yeah, you can reach me, Rachel, RACHEL @magicourway.com. You can also find me on social media. I'm at R Family Magic. That's the letter R and then the words Family Magic on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And the easiest way to get to reach me is through text message. And my phone number is 978-432-WISH, WISH. So yeah, please reach out. I would be happy to help you book a food-centric vacation. Honestly, most of my trips that I book, the first thing I do is figure out what we're going to eat and look at menus. So that's my favorite thing to help with too. So if you're a foodie and you want to book a trip, I'm your girl.
Yeah, it's not just Disney vacation. You can do all this.
No.
I looked on the Asian Pacific list of hotels or places you can eat Nobu, and they got Manila, Philippines. So I'm like, right, Nobu.
Damn straight.
Right.
And I saw a video. They had the little wooden cube of sake that they were serving too.
Ooh, your wooden cube.
And so obviously they also have a restaurant in Tokyo.
Oh, nice.
We got geishas in Tokyo, which leads me back to Eli.
Back to Eli.
Got that awesome comic book.
Well, I just want to tell listeners
Geisha.
to stay tuned for our spin-off podcast, Nobu Our Way.
Nobu. Visit all the Nobu.
Yeah.
If you go to Dubai, if you're in Dubai, you can book a Nobu.
And
But-
Kevin was invited. Kevin got cheap on us.
My ass was poor. So
Oh no.
I couldn't afford
But
Dubai,
caramel.
but I will.
We could have figured
So
something
I will
out.
start an OnlyFans about Buck Caramel.
Oh,
Oh no.
That way,
Yeah,
yeah, that's why I can afford Nobu.
Send Kevin the Nobu, guys.
That's right. I'll do feet pictures as well.
Give
Be
that
great.
can money.
But look, man, we're talking about Tokyo Geishas. Look,
Finish your story.
No, are you going to say what I was about ready to say?
I know what you're gonna say.
All right,
What
so
you gonna
right
say?
after Nobu, we went to the casino to gamble.
did you win?
No,
Oh.
he did. Eli won though, because you
What's
know
her
why?
name? What's her
Eli
name?
was sitting at a machine called Cleopatra, and I said, "That ain't for you." I said, "Come over here," and I repositioned as a what was it called?
Dangerous beauty.
Dangerous
Oh,
beauty.
Dangerous Beauty.
And there was a geisha on there
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a sword, and she was chopping up people.
Like people, there was some other chick that
Yeah.
was on anime looking.
I said,
And you won?
I said, "This is your machine.
Yeah.
Cash out, come play this machine."
Yeah.
Son of a kept winning.
I kept winning off of that geisha machine.
That was fate.
I played the Little Shop of Horrors machine because I'm a Little Shop of Horrors fan.
It's a great,
I
it's a great
played,
story.
Oh, I love Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
I played Frankenstein. There was a Frankenstein machine. I played almost lost everything. Eli was the only winner. Anna lost all her money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
no.
Eli.
Yeah. They were like, we ready to go. I'm like, I'm not.
Oh no.
But
I'm
not.
staying with the geishas.
Boop, 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 boop. Oh yeah, when all the geishas showed up, it was like,
That's because you wrote that comic book, and so you got all the secrets. Right?
that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want to win at that particular machine, you got to buy
You
the
gotta buy
geisha
a
comic book
geisha
from
book.
ivorycomics.com.
And that's,
Or if you want to travel to New Orleans and book it through Rachel, Eli will take you to casino
That's right.
and
Yeah.
play with you.
yes, why you had read the book. It don't work unless you.
No, Eli will read the book to you.
I will read the book.
I
to
mean,
you.
I know JP's coming in October, so I don't know if he booked with Rachel, but hopefully he did. And Eli's going to read the book to him.
Yeah. But look, geishas are a great luck. And the other moral of that story is always listen to your podcast mate, because I would not have won that money had he not suggested that I sit at that machine. So it was synergy and fate all around, and that's what happens when you go out there on the internet. You go to ivorycomics.com. That's how that magic works right there. You can get money if you buy a Project Geisha book. You never know when Geisha will strike and give you good luck. You never know when you go out to the zoo. You buy savages, might save your life if they just happen to be flying mandals with jetpacks coming around there. You never know. Things change a lot in this world. Of course, there's always the Molly Be Damned, which has a nice moral story about being with friends and what it takes to help them. So look, those books are also all fully colored. The only ad for them is in this podcast. And when you go to the Ivory Comics website, you get those options to buy those books. And then you also have blogs and interviews and a link to this podcast. So you never miss a beat. You never miss an episode. You never miss what are they going to do with Tom Sawyer's Island after they replace it with something else. And if we're going to be around long enough to see it, that in itself is suspense, folks. That's how that works. So please appreciate the support. IvoryComics.com.
It's sus, as the kids say.
And,
It's all sus.
Look, get me started. I don't like. I mean, when we were young and we were coming up, Disney was not throwing out like all of these massive changes.
They gave us edutainment and we absorbed it.
Yeah, we just took what they gave us, and it was like, oh, this is why they're doing it. This is what it's explained. Now it's like, all bets are off. But again, only a link to the Magic Our Way podcast after being on the Ivory Comics website where you get all of that insight on there. But there you go. I digress. Also, social media, you can find me on Facebook, Eli H. Ivory, as long as you're a real person. It's a pleasure to meet you. But if you're a bot, unless you was on that casino machine with the geisha, give me some money, I do not need to greet you. All right? Just
by the way, listeners should know there is a Patreon subscriber package that includes conversations with Eli Ivory.
Yes,
because he will talk to you until ears fall off. Like when he's talking about reading his comic book to you while you're playing, he will do that. I will
do that. You pay that tier, and some people have paid that tier.
We were late to get to Nobu because this dude was on the phone for 45 minutes with a listener.
Yes,
would not get off the phone. No, he can talk.
I can,
and
I will.
And Rachel was able to massage Nobu to let y'all in, right?
That's right.
It was nice. It was good skill. Absolutely.
So if you want to talk to Eli about anything, and this man's a wealth of knowledge.
Yes. And I've had people buy their tiers. All right, let's test this out. I paid it what you got. I'm like, what you want to talk about?
You can do what I did and spend the time to get to know him over several years, or you just pay to the Patreon thing, and then boom, you're just talking to them right off the bat.
Yeah, then you want to pay it again. I mean, so it's good either way.
I always thought about switching our Patreon to an OnlyFans.
Jeez.
I can sell feet pics.
Slow down.
You can make some money.
Wait, slow down, Dirty Caramel.
You want to do that? Oh, that's my bad.
What?
That'd be my name, Dirty Caramel.
It's like a Rolo
there you go.
there.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on.
We can show you like slow motion pictures of like cheap lobster.
Oh, okay. Like us just eating, and then
from Maine. Yeah. We'll do that and she would say, "It's like, oh, this is only $10."
I'm watching Rachel right now polishing up her resume, like sitting at the Lumen.
Yes, indeed.
Please save me. Get me out of this.
I know so much.
I didn't sign up for OnlyFans, but I'm on board with the rest of it.
Dirty Caramel. All right. Well, just again to keep going through that. So yes, also there is a Project Geisha fan page. So Facebook.com/Project Geisha.
Nobu.
In other media, Dirty Caramel. In other media such as Instagram, EIRE504 is where you can find me there, posting up the hearts and the likes and sharing the stories and feeling your glories. Take that out if you like. And of course on X, I can be found at Hancock166. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
We'll probably be the only Disney fan podcast with the OnlyFans.
Maybe it's a thing.
You have always said you are adult oriented.
Yes,
we did.
There's a lot to that. I mean, there's a lot to that.
Sit there with slow motion pictures of me eating lobster for cheap.
Seductively?
Well, I'm a happily married. Okay, I'm a moderately.
Look, y'all, if you want to access all of it, we just go to magicourway.com/about-us. If you want us to create an OnlyFans to do all the stuff, let us know too, because we will do that for our fans. Or at least I will. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I will do that for the fans.
He won't do that.
Yeah. If you want to see me, like, I don't know, when you go, slowly eat cheap lobster,
that's the $200 tier. That's the $200.
It's whatever you want to pay for tier. I don't know. Shoot.
You want to see Kevin eat seductively. That's gonna cost
Enough
you,
to eat me lobster. Like
I mean,
me to pay at least $50 to eat
that
lobster.
man here.
This is the show we can't get out of.
We can't escape.
Suck back in.
Yes,
lasted
longest
forever.
closing. Look, if you want to level your support, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support the show. Also, another way to support us to book that vacation with Rachel. Like I said, if you want to go to Nobu, if you want to go to any of the parks, Universal or Disney, you could do it. A little bit of that comes back to support us. And another option to support us, and it only costs a minute or so of your time, is to leave a rating. Sorry. It's to leave a rating or review.
Never-ending closing.
I know, I had gas. Sorry. It's to leave a rating and a review in Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we love hearing from our listeners. All opinions, yes, I swear, all opinions are welcome in the Magic Hour podcast. So make sure you get in touch with us today. Slide into our DMs, shoot us an email, send us a text, call us. We don't care. Your opinions are welcome, man. This is one of the few Disney podcasts that allow that. It doesn't matter. Maybe one day we'll do like a round table discussion with all, like 5 minutes with them a weekend. Here, spill all your guts about D23. What do you think?
Yeah.
We get a Patreon thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Mohicans in our Magic Our Way Pleasure Island Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, join that. They're very vociferous about all their opinions on the whole D23 stuff. They've been writing like paragraphs, and it's been awesome to read through all that. So maybe we just invite them on the show and invite that. But look, all opinions are always welcome, and we're very, very serious about it. We want to hear it, see what you think, give you a platform so you can voice your opinion. So with all that being said, man, we say Kwaherini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right. Nachos are on plates.
And you are. Bye!